again. So now it is God who has put us in an environment that requires choices. I think sometimes this is why God created, or recreated, if you will, the heavens and the earth, this physical place that we live. For if we were in heaven, in that place where our residence is hoped to be, there's a whole different dynamic there of where you would not see the blessing of believing without seeing. See, a blessing without seeing takes you into a whole new, different arena than blessed because you see. So there's reason that God created the earth. There's reasons. And maybe the most enlightening of those reasons in regard to us as human beings might be that it made sense that this constitution that God created this being in, it was necessary that He put him in a place where he could not see, but yet had to believe. But the very fact that we must then choose ourselves is what God gives merit or weight to that choice. Now, it is God who has put us in an environment that requires choices, but the very fact that we must then choose ourselves is what gives merit or weight to the choice. Follow? It is precisely the possibility for error on our part that adds to the significance. That is, through choices we derive our character change. We only advance as we achieve through free will choices. You only advance in the kingdom of God through your own free will choices. Your kingdom of God is your promised land. Where's the kingdom of God? It's within you. You're to be the temple of God. The promised land is you. And the only way you can advance in this kingdom is through free will choices. It wasn't wrong to choose to spy out the land. It wasn't wrong to choose to spy out the land. There wasn't anything wrong with that. Had there been anything wrong with that, God would have said, don't do it. But He said, a kind of at arm's length, do what seems right to you, what seems good to you. Go ahead. This is exactly the idea that God has for us. Or we could stay on this side of the Jordan and we could say, oh God, what should I do? What should I do? Where should I go? How should I do it? I believe it is acceptable unto God for those people to say, let us send spies. In a very real sense, that is what we do each time we judge what is in our heart. You send a spy into your heart when you judge yourself. You're spying out the land. In effect, you're sending spies. Your conscience is your spy. Your conscience is to be used to spy out the land. And when your conscience sees what's in there, then it's how you deal with what your conscience brings back to you that you're judged on. So in a real way, each time that you examine your heart, you're sending a spy out. And often we come back with the report, that's too big. We can't defeat that. Mike, we can't defeat that. Don't even think about it. it's not so bad right here where you're at. Over there, there's lots of fortified cities, clean up to the heavens. There's giants over there. And it's how I respond to that I'm judged on. Thus, it was Joshua, and now you could see how Joshua, who was accredited and distinguished, who successfully negotiated the arena of true independent choice, and who then was appointed to lead the people of Israel into the promised land. You see, Joshua, he went up with those spies, and yet he wasn't judged because he went up with the spies, because it wasn't evil to go up with the spies. What was evil is to come back with a report contrary to what God had instructed as the rules of engagement in life. Thus, having overcome in that arena, it set the circumstances for Joshua, good circumstances, that he then was placed in. He had to go through the wilderness too, but he had a different type of wilderness experience based upon his choice, his good choice to believe God. And therefore, Joshua, was accredited with making and walking out God's Torah in that arena, which seemed to be a non-consequential event. You know. Are you with me? All right, Joshua was appointed then to lead the people of Israel into the promised land. And here, you should be able, from this Torah group and all the lessons that went forth from here, you should say, the light should go on. Joshua, it means Yeshua. Yeshua is the one that led us into the promised land. See? We need a strong leader. We wouldn't go in the promised land unless we had a strong leader. We would be defeated if we didn't have a strong leader that was pointing toward the Messiah, who was believing in the promises, whose coattails we could hang on to get the promised land. Well, our conqueror, our leader, we're holding on to his coattail as he leads us into the promised land. Yeshua has walked already in the promised land. Joshua has already overcome in the promised land. You see it? He's already overcome. He went through it, border to border, wasn't affected by it. Yeshua came into this land. He walked that land. He went into the wilderness. He was faced with the temptations of Satan, and yet he did not fail God. So in the same way, we're following Yeshua into the promised land as they followed Joshua into the promised land. In other words, we're not all alone. We not only have the sure promises of God, but we have the Messiah, Yeshua, to lead us into this promised land.